Hi, this is Miriam from GrannyKeto.com. I want to share with you today my total versus net carb system. I find that it works very well for me and for many of my clients. I have one gal uh, uses this. She's very, very successful. But I want to say before starting that sometimes people are very, very carb sensitive. And so you just want to stick to 20 total carbs and you don't want to fool around with it. But you can experiment with the net carbs. And the net carbs I take are only from fresh vegetables. So let me go through this with you. So this is column A, and this is total carbs. And you can see here, these are foods that just have a carb count. You count the carbs, you don't fool around with it. Cream, nuts, cheese, eggs, knockwurst, which would be hot dogs or sausage or things that might have a little naturally occurring sugars in their curing. Sometimes have one or two carbs. It's not like a straight piece of steak and it doesn't have carbs in it. This is coconut manna that I'll talk about, and I just want to give it a shout out. It is called Nutiva, and it's coconut manna, and I use it for a dessert. If I just need something to top off a meal, I just stick my spoon in and have this. Rayo sauce. I also wanted to give a shout out to this because I use this in a lot of my recipes. I wanted you to see it. So this is Rayo's. This is arrabbiata, which is a little bit spicy, and I use this in some of my recipes. So I just wanted to show that to you. And they also make a pizza sauce. So I don't have any stock in the company, but they are the lowest carb, most natural, I find delicious tomato sauces and pizza sauces. Okay, so we have that. I use a low carb with sugar-free barbecue sauce. Some of these products will depend on your own feeling about artificial sweeteners. I personally don't have a problem with them in very limited quantities. So some of my foods might have uh, a sugar-free version of something, but you can make your own barbecue sauce and your own ketchup. I have onions. I have here. They are they're a very sweet vegetable. You don't think of that while you're crying as you're chopping it, but I have onions there. And then I have some recipes that I like. See, KS stands for Christy Sullivan. Look her up on YouTube. She has a fantastic recipes. EB is Emily Bites, which I used a lot on Weight Watchers. I can't use it a lot on keto because some of her things are very high carb, but once in a while there'll be something low carb that's perfect for keto. And lemon zest cheesecake. I have that off the internet. I'll share that with you. Okay, so column B is net. And you'll notice here is all fresh above ground vegetables. Lettuce, radish, green onion. That's the bulb of it is underneath, but it's not as high in carb as an onion would be. Celery, asparagus, spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, endive, bok choy, arugula, mushrooms, summer squash, and zucchini. These are very popular vegetables. Most of them are one carb for like a cup chopped or something like that. But as you use them, you'll want to look up and see what the carb counts are. So anyway, here's a day one meal, and that's what I wanted to show you how the system works. This is the system. Okay, for yourself, you keep a notebook for yourself and you put your favorite foods in there. I mean, maybe you make everything with zucchini, so you want to make sure you have what that net carb count is. You may never touch radishes. Okay, don't have them on your list. So you do your own thing. If you have some favorite recipes, you pull them out, you put them into your column A. So here's a typical day. So I'll have 2 cups of coffee each with 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, and it's two from the A column because 2 tablespoons is one, and I have 2 cups. The MCT oil, I just say sometimes I put in there, but it's purely fat, so you don't have to worry about the count. When I'm a little bit hungry in the morning and I need something grab and go, nuts and cheese are the way to go for me. So I may have a quarter of a cup of pecans which is 4A, okay? 1 ounce of hard cheese, which is 1A. Now, I want to go back to nuts for a minute because if you're doing nuts, just be careful anyway because there's also protein and fat in there, and you just want to be careful with nuts is all I'm saying. For lunch, I might have a knockwurst, one from the Total Carb, 2 cups, and here's my salad. So I have 2 cups of salad, radishes, green onion. Um, I might also add cucumber or a couple of cherry tomatoes, but just for the demonstration, I kept it short. Now I have a half an avocado in there, and I just want to explain. It's over here in column B. It's very fibrous and very fatty, and even the most stickler of the sticklerists who do total carb only are usually comfortable counting avocado net. So I have that in the net column. Okay, and dessert, I might grab this coconut manna that I told you about. Okay? For dinner, you have a porterhouse steak. Now, if you're keeping track of your protein also, you want to watch that amount against the other protein you've had during the day. Please come to Granny Keto and ask for my free guide, which is Dancing with Keto. And if you really don't want to weigh and measure and track and do all of that, that guide is just for you. And in it, I also have the graphic that always talks about, the size of your palm is 3 ounces, your thumb is a tablespoon, that sort of thing, and it will help you with that. So you'll sort of get an idea of what size porterhouse steak you want. I'm having asparagus, B, it's net, right there, okay? And that is actually a pretty ample dinner, okay? You can have a little bit more salad. If you didn't have salad for lunch, have it for dinner, that sort of thing. Now, I also put in here just to use up my carbs for the day. And oh, by the way, I'm saying that because I want to show you how to use 20 carbs. 20 is just a ceiling when you're starting keto, or if you have a lot of metabolic issues. You don't have to eat 20. You can eat zero. I don't think you can eat zero, but you can eat close to zero. But when I say I wanted to bring it to 20 carbs, it's because I wanted to show you what 20 carbs look like. You don't have to eat 20 carbs. So here's some celery and some cream cheese. I could have had that for a snack. I find I'm not hungry eating this way because between the dressing and the olive oil and the avocado and the protein that I might have, I'm not hungry. But I have a very long commute home. And so sometimes I'll have something just in case. So a celery and cream cheese might be nice. So anyway, that's 20. All right. So let me have to technical difficulties here. All right. So I need 2 seconds to put this up. I had this every which way, and the only way I could figure out how to show it to you was to hang it up here like this. All right, so we have our same thing going on. So we have day 2 here. Cup of coffee, same thing going on. This time I have 2 eggs. There's a carb in 2 eggs, and I have it with a half a cup of sauce. This is one of the recipes I'm going to put on my website shortly. By the time you see this video, it might be there. I have recipes that I called amoebas and bones. Amoebas is just something I put together, and it's not really a recipe. So my eggs and sauce are sort of an amoeba recipe, but I'll put it up there so you have it. And then I throw in there 2 cups of spinach, okay? I put in fresh spinach and it cooks down. So I'm taking that from this column, okay? For lunch, I'll have tuna, 0 carbs, mayo, 0 carbs, a tablespoon of chopped onion. Here you go, 1 carb. And again, my salad, I'll have lettuce, radish. I really like radishes. Lettuce, radishes, green onion. Okay. And a half of an avocado. I try to have a half an avocado every day because it's just that good for you. It's loaded with potassium. It's a great way to get natural potassium. Okay. Dinner, chicken thigh with skin, 0. Okay, 2 tablespoons of sugar-free barbecue sauce. That's the one over here. Now, again, you can make your own if you don't want to buy something with artificial sweetener, but even with that, it comes out to a carb or so because the tomato paste will have carbs, and if you chop up some vegetables, that'll have carbs. But you can make your own. Okay, so but I have it with barbecue sauce, and then I have a cup of shredded cabbage with some mayo and a little bit of sweeteners, and that makes my coleslaw. So I have barbecued chicken thigh with coleslaw. Oh, I think I'm gonna have that for dinner tonight. Okay, so then again, since this is day 2, so I didn't have this coconut manna, which I had at lunch on day 1, so I'm having it for dessert here. And then I can still have the celery stuffed with cream cheese. Okay, so this gives you an idea of how to do it. Again, I'm going to stress that this happens to be my column A and column B, but you can put on the things that you really like to eat a lot, and you don't have to look it up all the time. All right, let me come back into the picture. Okay, so what I would suggest is you can track and measure, and this is only tracking carbs. There's a lot of ways to do keto. The gold standard might be your macros, and you go into a computer program and you write down your protein and your carbs and your fat, and you keep track all of that. I try to teach my clients to do this without the written tracking. However, you have to start somewhere. So, at the very least, you want to do this system and know what your carbs are so you don't go over your carbs. So, I'm going to cut this off because I know people sometimes watching from work or they don't have a lot of time. So, I wanted to keep this short, but I think that sort of explains it. So, you have a column A, which is total, a column B, which is net. You take this plus this, and it works out to 20. And that's how you eat 20 carbs a day, even if you're including some net carbs with that. Okay? So please come to Granny Keto, all one word, of course.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're either watching this from the site or you're watching this from my website. But I really want to empower people to make this truly a lifestyle. You don't want to be harnessed to your trackers and so when I was on Weight Watchers. Honest to God, don't tell anybody. I brought my food scale to the supermarket so that if I was going to have, let's say, a 10-ounce potato, which we don't eat potatoes here, but this is just an example, I actually took loose potatoes. And when nobody was looking, I put them on the food scale so that I would buy myself a 10-ounce. Please, that's crazy. Please don't do that. And there's no need to do it. You have to have awareness. You have to know if you're brand new to keto or brand new to low carb. Yes, you have to have an awareness, but please, please don't make that your lifestyle. Make something where you just say, I take this size salad every day, and I always have a half an avocado. And I always have a tablespoon of feta cheese, and I throw in an egg. This salad is going to be 7 carbs, no matter if I take it on Monday or I take it on Friday. This is what I want to teach you to do. So please come to Granny Keto. I have this fantastic guide, Dancing with Keto, that will get you started on empowering yourself and trusting yourself and all of that. And I also have a feature called Ask Granny Keto, and that is an email like this. You can just say, I had salsa today with lime, and I don't know whether to count the lime as net or total. Email me. It's Ask Granny Keto. I'll answer it. I'll answer you, or I might put it on the Facebook page or whatever. But please don't be a stranger. The more you get involved with this, the more this actually will be your lifestyle. And that's what I hope for you. All right. So anyway, it was nice to visit with you, and I will see you at the next video.